Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and today we're going to do a character guide on Kimahri. So, Kimahri is kind of a support-based character with some utility in his kit, so we'll kind of go through that and explain how he works, but he has quite a few tricks up his sleeve that he can do to kind of help you out. Very defensive unit, heals a lot, can put blind on the enemies, poison, all kinds of fun stuff, right? So in this video, we'll go through his spheres, his artifacts, and then we will jump into a quick showcase and show you how he works. For his force enhance boards, or force enhancements, I should say, they're just standard. So once again, if you like a character, I just recommend you full invest. Otherwise, at a minimum, if you're using in hard content, go to 23. But it's totally up to you. Mine's just at 10 because I'm not full investing in Kimahri right now, but I have the rest of his kit. But if I was serious about the character, I would want to go full enhancements to 30. So let's go ahead and let's look at his artifacts and his spheres really quick here. So let's start with the spheres. He's got a B, a D, and an E slot. So you can see it's a very utility and tank-based sphere spread here. So for the B slot, I think his own is pretty decent on him. Or if you did like a Bronth, Celis, Warrior of Light, something like that would be fine. These are kind of like HP or Brave damage reduction type spheres, which can really help. Gabranth to me is one of the better B spheres in the game because it's full party Brave damage reduction. I really, really like that. So go ahead and pick something like that to put on him. He doesn't have locking. He doesn't have dodging, so those locking and or dodging spheres aren't going to work as well. So you're going to want to do one of these generic kind of reduction type spheres. For the D slot, this is a typical, you just want to boost party attack. So Hope and Ash are two of the better ones. Those I think are pretty universal on most characters. On the E slot, you could try giving him some utility with debuffs he doesn't already provide, but he provides a lot of debuffs, including a poison. So like you wouldn't want to put like a Ferris or something like that on him. So I would say go with more of like an attack sphere like Seymour or Yuffie, something like that. So I've got Seymour here on mine. Just raises attack when debuffing, which Kimahri does do frequent debuffing, right? For the artifacts, there are three you kind of want to look at. Actually, four. So I think the best is this attack and then the C50, which is Ronzo Guardian Boost. So that's party's max brave by 5% and then defense by 10%. So it's a party max brave up, which is really, really good. You could do max brave 330 as well. Otherwise, you could do buff boost up, which it only raises his own max brave by 5%. So the C50 is a lot better. But if you don't have it, buff boost up would at least increase his max brave. But yeah, if you could, the C50 is really important because you're getting a party-wide max brave and defense up. And then you want to increase his attack as well. So that's kind of the spread I would go there if you can get it. His artifacts are really easily farmable right now, so it shouldn't take too long if you have a Mog Pass, right? So let's go ahead and hop into a little fight here. We'll just show him off really quick so you guys all can understand how he works. So let's back out here. Yep, we'll just do that. Yep, we should be good here. There we go, and then let's just start the fight. Okay. So, we're just going to do no friend, and we're going to hop in like that. Alright, so a couple of things with Kimahri here is he has a lot of healing in his kit. He's got, like I said, some interesting stuff with poison and things like that. And he does have a, like, a Brave Plus, or it's an HP Plus variant that you want to keep your eye on. Because if you don't understand what it does, like, people I could see, like, misuse it or, like, not use it at all. So it's really important to understand how that works. So we're going to put Cam on right here just to get these enemies basically subdued and paralyzed out. Kimahri actually can do a bit of that himself, and we'll talk about that in just a minute here. But we'll start by just kind of talking about like his 15, his 35, and kind of going from there. Alright, so we got Kimahri coming up here. So Kimahri, what you're going to notice is that he's got Jump Plus. What you're looking for is to get Jump Plus Plus, okay? And that's going to come up a little bit later, so we'll keep our eye on that. But we'll just start with the 15. So the 15 CP here, well, he starts with the EX, so I guess typically you'd want to open with that because he just starts with it. So let's actually start with the EX. So we'll put Nova on. What Nova is going to do is going to do a big attack, but it gives all the enemies total blindness. So this is a 2-turn 100% blind. So as long as the enemies don't have attacks that are guaranteed to hit, basically if they're dodgeable, you're going to dodge. So if they have total blindness on and they hit you, it means they did an attack that is actually not dodgeable. So we'll go ahead and bring Kimahri back up front here. And then that also gives him one of his basically generic buffs that just buffs all of his stats, called Ronzo traits. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to use the, or sorry, I was looking at the 15. But the EX, sorry, just basically does that. Okay, now let's go ahead and do the 15. So I was getting ahead of myself here. This gives him the buff called Ronzo traits, which just gives him a bunch of buffs. It does a little Brave gain, and then that also heals the party. And he has that nice effect that when he over heals, like if you're full HP, it just turns into Brave gain. So it's like a heal Brave gain attack, right? So let's go to Kimahri again. And then we'll go ahead and show off the 35. Okay, so the 35 is Mighty Guard and Bad Breath. So what this is going to do, this is going to put poison on the enemies, and it's going to give the party Mighty Guard, which is going to lower HP damage taken by 20%. So that's really powerful to help you survive difficult fights, right? Okay, now what's really nice, we'll just keep going here. Okay, so we've got the EX up again, so it's very fast charging, right? That's why it's nice. So let's just use the EX again. And then basically you can just keep this total blindness on. So like the enemies like basically won't be able to do anything to you. Now we've got Cam's debuff on, so the enemies won't even get a chance to attack anyways. But they would basically be just whiffing at everything right now, right? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to go into swap turns. Alright, so now we're going to talk about the LD here really quick and get the LD going. So the LD is called White Wind. This is going to be like his biggest party heal. It's a really huge battery. It's his best Brave Shaving attack. It extends all of his buffs by 1 turn, and he gets a free skill use on the next turn, right? So, what we can do is we can go ahead and pop that off. Okay. Enemies will just miss their turns here. Okay, so now what happens is from the LD, we're getting a bunch of buffs that really help the party out, but it also is what gives you the jump double plus. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. So we're going to swap back into Kimahri here. Okay. So now Kimahri is pretty close to his EX, but basically the jump double plus, if you use that, it instantly charges his EX and he gets an instant turn. So if we do jump plus here, you see he gets an instant turn right away and it instantly charges his EX. Now I know his EX was really close to charge there already, but if his EX was completely empty, it would have still full charged it. And then what you can do, so the strategy here is this. If let's say you have total blindness on from his EX, you want to keep that rolling. Let's say the enemies all of a sudden cleanse themselves or it falls off a little bit too early. You can safely go like LD into the jump plus, and then jump plus is going to let you up. Basically, if you have that jump plus just sitting there ready to go, you kind of don't just want to use it right away. You let it sit there till you need it, and then basically you pop off jump plus into the EX, and then you're going to get that blind right back on right away. So that's basically it. He's actually a fairly simple character to play. And basically, you're just using the skills based on the situation. So if you need to re-put the poison on, if you need to heal, you'll use the 15. Use the LD when you need to refresh that buff. And once again, if you want to get that jump plus variant. But that's basically it. We can use the AA here as well, which is just going to do like notable party buffs, just like they always do. You typically always want to put the AA on at some point, just because after C90, the AAs are actually quite relevant and very good. So that's just something you'll want to put on as well. And then, yeah, there you go. That's pretty basic. So, you know, we could do it again here. We could go LD. So we'll look at his EX gauge here, right? So we'll go LD. So you see that charge, I mean, it charges pretty fast. It's like already 3/4 of the way charged. But then you'll see once again, we'll go into him and show the jump again. So we'll do, oh shoot, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to do swap turns. Alright, we'll get through Cam really quick here, so we'll just attack through. Alright, and then we'll swap turns. Yep, so let's go ahead and swap into Kimahri. And then you'll see here once again, we'll have jump plus up. Now see here with the free skill use, this is where you could use the AA, right? So you pop the AA on the free skill use after LD. And then you would go up to jump double plus. Jump double plus is going to be instant turn. And then after jump double plus, you can see the EX just went all the way, and then you just kind of go in the Nova. So basically with Kimahri, he's just a very defensive unit. He's going to help keep you healed. He can definitely work as your dedicated healer, but basically you're doing that in conjunction with just shutting the enemies down. So for some of these really aggressive fights where the boss attacks a lot and maybe they're calling for like a tank like Oran or something, you can actually bring Kimahri as your tank. And the way he tanks is he just makes the enemies miss all the time. So if you really strategize, the goal is to try to keep that total blindness up almost all the time if you can. Because his EX has got infinite skill uses, you just got to get it charged up, right? So Kimahri can be a very good character for like long fights and things like that. You can keep that EX going. So anyways, guys, hope this helps. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all on the next one.